I've got a laser attachment to show you today. This is a Y-axis rotary chuck attachment that was supplied to me by Sinismal and Ortur. Last year I reviewed the Ortur Laser Master 3, which I was very impressed with, and this is made by the same company. And like the Laser Master 3, the build quality of this is excellent. All metal construction, nice weight to it, lovely quality. This is a rotary chuck attachment, so you can attach just about any cylindrical object to this, but it's a bit different in that it's got a tilt on it, so you can easily engrave tapered objects or funny shaped objects. Comes with all the accessories you need, connection cable, and adapters for all different lasers, because it's not just for the Ortur laser, it will actually attach to several different diode lasers. And this is the chuck, 3-jaw chuck, nice smooth action to it, quite satisfying to use actually. And it's got a little tail stock, spring loaded rotary tail stock, just to help support certain items. You get this very neat little accessory box as well, and in here you've got 3 different sorts of chuck jaws and the chuck keys as well, just so you can really tighten the chuck up if needed. So you've got 2 sets of these plastic jaws, different shapes for different objects, and a set of these stepped jaws. You've also got a set of metal rod jaws for other purposes, and these are the chuck keys, which you use for tightening and loosening the chuck. Get all the screws you need as well. First thing to do is just to set up these set screws, these thumb screws, which hold the chuck at whichever angle you want. There's one for each side. But it's very solid. Then you connect the lead to the underside here. This connects the stepper motor to your laser. Just tightening up those thumb screws. And this is the special adapter lead for the Laser Master 3, and this came with the laser, not with the chuck. So you connect this to the chuck lead, then the other end clicks into the special port on the back of the Ortur Laser Master 3. You then need to click that switch across to YRR. Make sure you read all the instructions. This is light burn. You can see here, this is the cuts and layers, and we go up to the rotary axis thing. Make sure that you've selected chuck and enable rotary axis. This value needs to be 96, and you need to put the diameter or circumference in of the object you're engraving. The green dot marks the job origin, and you can see in the bottom right there you can select where you want the job origin, and you need to have current position selected. This helps you line up the laser. So then we're onto the laser, and I'm using this special focusing arm that swings down on the Laser Master 3 just to get the height above the workpiece correct. Once you've tightened up the laser, you can swing that up out of the way and then shift this into the correct position and check the framing. Always wear your safety glasses, and then we can start the burn. This is actual speed, and then I sped it up a little bit so that you could see the rotary axis working there, and it was a great result, really good. Very happy with that. Came out very nicely. This is on a simple cylinder of beechwood that I turned on the lathe. I also turned this random object just to show how it can engrave tapered objects. So here I'm just adjusting it because you need the surface that it's engraving to be level, otherwise the laser will drift out of focus as it goes backwards and forwards across the workpiece. And the best way of checking this is to use a little spirit level. because it's quite deceptive. What you think is level often isn't, and it's important for the focus of the laser. Always check the framing when you're doing these projects. Make sure the laser isn't fouling the chuck jaws. So here it is, focused, lined up, and we're off. This came out very nicely again. This is actual speed. Make sure you wear your safety glasses. I can't overemphasize that. I've just sped it up a little bit here as well. There we are, just using those little chuck keys to release it. You can see how neat that looks. This is beechwood again that I turned on the lathe. Now to show you the next clever thing this chuck does. I'm just removing these chuck jaws. Simple job. And then these 3 rods are for holding really awkward objects like rings or little spheres or egg shapes. You just need to screw them into each of the 3 chuck jaws, the sliders. Make sure they're in the same hole on each slider. And they hold the workpiece away from the chuck so that your laser doesn't hit the chuck when it's engraving. But very quick and easy assembly. There we go. And I turned out of the same piece of beech, I turned this little ring, little wooden ring. So you just put that on there and then expand the jaws on the inside and it grips it. You can see it's holding it nice and well away from the chuck itself. And there we go with a bit of engraving. This is actual speed. You can see how quick it does this. Very, very nice engraving, but I misaligned it. You can see it's right over to one edge. So I tried it again. Not only was it misaligned, I overlapped it. And I tried it again and again, and it kept doing the same thing. And it was all my fault.
Well, that's a bit rubbish, Daddy.
And I'll try and show you why. It's all because of how I had placed the job origin. You can see here all the engraving's coming out beautifully, but it's shifting before it starts engraving, and it's right over to one side. And as I say, I'll try and show you my mistake. So here's the text in Lightburn, and it's in the wrong orientation here. So I'm turning it 90 degrees, but I didn't move the green dot. So you can see the green dot is there on the left. So the laser thinks that's where it's positioning it. And I should have moved it down to this point. That way I could line up the laser with the middle of the ring and it would have engraved it perfectly. Anyway, I only had one, I'd only turned one, so here it is. But you can see the quality of the engraving on it. I was really impressed with that. Here's a few stills of the finished pieces. Yeah, very impressive bit of kit. I've got a couple of roller systems for lasers, but it's quite nice just to have a dedicated chuck system that you don't have to sort of change or anything to use. And it was very simple to use. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And if you'd like to purchase one of these rotary attachments, please check out the links in the description. I'll be back soon with some more videos.
More rubbish coming soon.